Hello, Algebra 2 students who just cannot get enough of simplifying imaginary numbers. I know how it is too. Let's get started. Here's um, two groups of complex numbers, and we are going to subtract them versus, exciting, multiplying them. And we need to figure out how to do this. So what I'm about to show you will work if that's a plus sign or a minus sign. Most people miss it though when that's a minus sign and they have a group of unlike terms like this and then they forget how to do it. So let me show you. We'll do this in exciting purple. Um, this is going to be 2 plus 3i minus. Now we're taking away both of these. So it's like distributing a negative 1 through each of these. So it's minus 2 and plus 3i. And I made that little tilted plus sign there so you can see I take a minus and put it together. When I combine this, I actually will combine like terms, so we combine numbers. So 2 minus 2 will be 0, and 3i plus 3i would be plus 6i. So your final answer can be expressed as 6i. If this would have had if this would have been something else, and maybe that would have been a 5 or something there, that you would have that real number component out in front and the imaginary part in the back. When you do two things multiply together like this, well, you have to FOIL. So here we go with that. First would be 4. The outside term, these would be negative 6i. And then 3i times 2 would be plus 6i. And the last terms would be 3i times negative 3i, and this is where the wheels fall off. This would be 9i squared. And there is the I squared thing that we need to remember, that I squared equals negative 1. Don't ever forget that, because we're going to have to substitute that in there. Now, when we combine this middle term will actually drop out, and this is called a conjugate of that. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but these are called conjugates. So this is going to be 4, and this is nothing, minus 9i squared. I won't get crazy with the simplifying. I'll do it step by step. But now I need to plug in negative 1 for I squared. So it's going to be 4 minus 9 times, and just to make that stick out, you're going to put a negative 1 in there for that I squared. Okay, so that I squared equals negative 1. And when we simplify this, it's 4 plus 9, because of course you got two negatives here. That's going to make a plus. Final answer, 13. The last example I want to show you here, and I think it's it's the sticking point that most people get into, is where you have one like 4i over 3 plus I. This is no good. We don't want to leave i's on the bottoms. So what we want is to make this go away on the bottom. In order to do that, you have to do this conjugate business that I was talking about up here. That's why I showed you this one. 2 plus 3i, 2 minus 3i. So what we do is we multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate, which is, instead of 3 plus I, 3 minus I on the top and the bottom. Of course, that's essentially multiplying by the number 1. That's how we can get away with doing that. Okay, now this becomes tricky here. So let's do the top first. So we'll take 4i times each one. So we'll effectively distribute through here, like so. So that's going to be 12i minus 4i squared. Okay, we'll come back and simplify that later. Now we're going to do this FOIL thing on the bottom. First, outside, inside, last, exactly like I did this. So that's going to be, actually, let me just go ahead and rewrite it in case anybody's having issues with this. 3 minus I. Okay, first, outside. So that's 9 minus 3i. Inside, plus 3i. That's the whole point of that. That middle term is going to cancel right there. And then minus I squared. So when we simplify that, that's going to be 9 minus I squared, or 9 minus negative 1, which is 10. And that goes under there. If you missed that, back it up and watch it again. But this is the I squared leading to the negative 1 right there. Now, this gets simplified more. the top part we need to put that -1 in for that too. So the next line, I'll just carry it over here, is going to be on top 12I minus 4 times -1. There's the I squared over 10. One more step, I'll carry it down this time. 12I plus 4 over 10. And now, if you look this answer up in the back of the book, you would not see this. The way they're going to simplify this is, you remember, every time you see complex numbers, you got the real part coming first and the imaginary part tagging along in the end. So I need to reorganize this to 4 plus 12I all over 10. But I'm not going to write it like that either. I'm going to write it like 4 plus, watch this, 12I, and that over 10, and that over 10, and then I'm going to reduce these to, and I'll put the magic answer here in bright blue, 2/5 plus, and these will each reduce by 2, 6 there, 5 here, so it would be 6/5 I. And that right there, my friends, is your final answer, and I will see you tomorrow.